What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to The Real Truth. Hi, my name is Tangi, and most of you know me from TikTok, but I'm sharing this video on all my social media platforms. I will be making you all aware of what goes on in the prison system. On the 25th of July, my younger brother, DeAndre Washington, was incarcerated for parole violation. He wouldn't have gone to jail, but his drug test came back positive. Before I talk any more about that, let me give you a little brief synopsis of my brother. His name is DeAndre Washington. Always been a really, really good kid and an even better man. He served proudly in the United States Marine Corps, served honorably, and he also fought in Iraq. With that being said, he suffers with PTSD, asthma, hypertension, and a whole gamut of other comorbidities that come along with being exposed to burn pits. So he's on a lot of medication. When he went to jail on the 25th of July, all he had with him was his asthma pump. Now, any of you, if you have hypertension, I know at least the type that I too suffer with, I have to take my medication every day. You would think the medication stays in your system. For some it does, but I have to take my blood pressure medication twice a day, every day. My little brother is the same way. On the 5th of August, he called me. He calls me sis. He says, sis, my hands are so swollen. He was like, my feet are swollen. I said, baby, that's because you haven't had your hypertension medication. I said, have you asked the nurse or nurses, tell them that you need your medication? He says, they know. I get my asthma inhaler twice a day, but I'm supposed to get that 4 times a day. So on Saturday night, he spoke with a male Caucasian nurse by the name of Vax and told him, sir, look at my hands. My hands are swollen. I have not had my hypertension medication or my medication for PTSD since the 25th of July. His response was, did you hit somebody for your hand to be that swollen? My brother said, no, sir. I haven't had my medication. With that being said, he gave him a Motrin. My little brother ended up calling me back about 15 minutes later. He said, sis, I did as you asked. He said that he asked me if I hit someone. So me being the advocate that I am, I called. It was after 8 o'clock Saturday night. I called and I spoke with this nurse. I introduced myself. I said, sir, my name is Tangi Williams, and I am DeAndre Washington's sister. Sir, I understand that you are not supposed to discuss the medical history of a person who is incarcerated. I said, but he has severe hypertension. His hands are swollen. His feet are swollen. I said, I understand because I suffer with that type of hypertension. Me at 25, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. To this day, 26 years later, I'm still on medication. As a matter of fact, I'm on 6 blood pressure medications. So I understand how important it is to take your medications regularly. Nurse Vax said, well, first of all, I can't discuss this with you because that's against the HIPAA law. I said, I understand, sir. I do. I said, you don't have to discuss anything with me. I'm pleading with you. Please, if you can please give him some medication. That fell on deaf ears. And he then tells me, missing a few days of medication, will not cause you to swell like that. At that point, that set me off. Yes, it did. And I gave him a piece of my mind, a whole slice. He then goes back out to general population where my brother was being held at, and told him, I don't appreciate you having your sister call me, having her thinking that we're treating you all like animals. She cussed me out. And of course, my little brother, he didn't say anything. He called me back, my brother. He said, sis, I don't know what you said to him, but he is mad as hell. I said, well, he can be mad. He can be mad. That's okay. That's cool. But I expected him to have compassion and empathy to treat you. Today, my little brother was finally released. He is in a rehabilitation center. He got to take his high blood pressure medication and his medication for PTSD for the first time in 16 days. That could have ended his life. I said all that to say this. If you have loved ones who are incarcerated, advocate for them. I understand there are some very, very bad people in jail, in prison. I understand that. But you have people who have committed nonviolent crimes. A lot of them are veterans, and they're being treated like criminals, common criminals, when they really need to get the help that they need, which is counseling and medication. Thank God my brother is safe. He will probably sleep for the first time in 16 days, and he got his medication. Elmore County Jail in Wetumpka, Alabama, they are not treating those inmates with dignity. It is unfortunate, and I will highly advise, if you have family members, friends, whomever, your friends, children, advocate for them, because most of these prisons are filled with black men, and I'm sorry, that's a population that is not really cared about, because so many people view our black men as common criminals. I called and left a message to the Warden Jackson at Elmore County Jail, and she's yet to call me back. I left several messages. I advocated for him until he was released. I want to thank the VA for putting him in a program that is going to get him the help that he needs. Advocate for your family, especially if they are in Elmore County Jail in Wetumpka, Alabama. I want to bring awareness to what is going on in that facility. If that is happening in Wetumpka, Alabama, I can only imagine what's happening at these really large prisons and jails all over the country. It is sad, it is ridiculous, but at the end of the day, they are human beings. So I just ask if you all just share this video. I hope that Warden Jackson, Nurse Vax, and any of the other people that I spoke with, I hope they see this message, because I am putting the word out that you all are not treating these men fairly. And it is sad, because we should have compassion for all people. Thank you for listening, and I pray that you all have a blessed night. Peace.